Is that a child sitting on the balcony out there?
Right next to that pink thing?
Yeah.
It looks like it. It looks like they're being like shunned or like funny.
Duh.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh yeah, I forgot this was a thing. How do we want to intro this?
We just hit 100,000 subscribers. Do you smell what I smell?
You can actually smell it when you crack it
Whoa,
open.
it's like a week old. And you can smell it.
That stuff is poison, but it feels so good.
Actually, it's venom.
We just hit 100,000 subscribers! The cobra's inside of you?
Yeah, and it doesn't taste very good.
The cobra's inside of me!
If you watched the end of our last video, we already said this, but we thought of the most creative idea we could possibly do for a 100,000 subscriber special.
Like going on an epic adventure across the Philippines and finding all 100,000 of our subscribers?
Better than that.
Giving away 1 billion pesos?
Way more creative.
A Q&A?
A Q&A.
Oh, we've never done this before!
We went to our Instagram and we asked you to ask us questions. If you want to be part of our next Q&A, go, because we'll probably do one, because we're creative people.
Yep.
Go follow our Instagram. We also post stuff, pictures on there and stories.
If you want to be updated on our travels, because like we said in the last video, next week we're starting our Indonesia series. That's the place to go, because we're not actually going to be in Indonesia. We're still going to be here. If you want to see kind of what we're up to, the adventures we're going on, that'd be the place to be. Why does Duck look so disgruntled?
He does look very disgruntled. I'm sorry, dude.
Now he's plump and happy again.
Oh, yes. That looks like a man who ate a lot of rice.
Heck yeah.
And there's Crocker, too.
Croc!
Hey, guys. Crocker has a message for you. We actually did make a kind of creative video if you want to check it out. Hey, guys. We just recently went ghost hunting. Go check out that video.
Thank you, Crocker. Very epic. It's a very cloudy day today in Qui-Gon City.
It's been the theme for a lot of our days recently here in Qui-Gon City. It's a joyous day because with the support of all our amazing fans, we've reached a milestone on this channel. A milestone that can only be described in a ventriloquist way, in a mime way. We hit 100,000 subscribers.
We did! And now, let's answer your fracking questions. We've answered a lot of questions before, but things change. We as people grow, and now there's more questions.
The last time we answered these questions, we've acquired 25,000 new people. Alright, questions here. There are some very intrusive questions that we will not be answering.
So if you ask something weird, not going to answer it. If you ask something the same as somebody else, we'll combine your two. So if you don't see your exact question, it may be combined or skipped.
First question. Any plans of going to Batanes? We're poor right now. We do want to travel. It looks like a really cool destination. The cost it would take to get there is, especially for a domestic trip, a bit too high for us right now. But it looks super cool.
I think the lowest price we've seen is 15,000 pesos or 12,000 pesos, something like that. That's a lot.
And then the hotels, I feel like we looked at them at one point and they were definitely more expensive than other places in the Philippines.
If you want to fund our trip to Batanes, check out our link below.
PayPal us money, please. We deserve it because we just hit a milestone.
100K?
We did the work.
Okay, it's gonna be weird.
Do you have plans of doing a meet and greet? We have thought about it many, many times.
We were thinking of doing it back when we came here originally.
Because we had a lot of Filipino fans from previous channels.
Yeah.
One thing is, we're super awkward, and we definitely like try and like set up the whole thing, and we'd overthink like how we'd want it to work, and we'd be perfectionists about the whole thing, and then we
want it to be fun. We don't
Yeah.
want it to just be like,
Hey.
hey. We'd want to like have it like things to do, but
then once we get in this mindset of, oh, we want it to be this grand fun thing, or then it ends up becoming too ambitious of a plan, and we're like, can we actually pull this off?
we'll see.
We'll see. You have plans about living in the Philippines for good.
We were in the Philippines for about 9 months, and then we left, went on a little excursion, went home for a bit, and now we're back and we have another 8 months in the condo.
By the time we're done with the 8 months in the condo, assuming 18 years old as an adult, I will have spent almost half of my adult life in the Philippines. So, if that's a hint on if we plan on staying here for good, we don't know where we're going in the future.
At this point, this is basically our home, and we go and visit Minnesota. That's how it's been like the last 2 years. So we'll see. Again.
This is an interesting question. Will you guys visit Bali, Indonesia?
I mean,
if you guys don't unsub to us when we leave the country, you'll see what our next video will be. Where will it be?
that is such a cliffhanger.
So by the way, this question wasn't planted here to to promote our newest series. It's actually like the 6th question we got on here.
Hey, you person.
From Chamid Ali.
Be ready.
Come back to Brazil.
We've never been to Brazil.
But it looks good. Any collab videos in the future? Again, we're awkward. We loved our collaborations with Filipino Boo. He's a great guy. We've seen him around. We talked to him. We were actually gonna collab with Whistle family before they left the Philippines, but I had a sickness. That was after our Korea series, and I got sick. It was definitely best not to get them sick as well, but we were literally gonna go there. But since then, we haven't really thought about doing it.
We would like to. We're like you said, we always get to the point where somebody will reach out to us and be like, hey, do you want to do this thing? And we're like, yeah, we're kind of busy.
We like think about like things we could do with them, and we always want it to be this grand, fun idea, and then it ends up being like, can we even pull that off? And
then we imagine us and how weird we are in our videos doing that with somebody else next to us at all times, and we'd be like, they're gonna think we're so weird.
Alright, you be a vlogger.
Hey guys, I'm in BGC. I'm very shocked right now. Wow.
Hey guys, Trifate here collabing with them.
That's the gist of it. I mean, if you watched our literally last 2 videos, they are psycho. How could somebody collab with us? Filipino Boo collabed with us, and I feel like our whole like demeanor in those videos completely changed, and some people noticed. They're like, you guys act different when he's there.
Not because we're fake or anything. We're just awkward.
We're just like, oh, I don't really want to screech and run down the road right now.
Yeah.
And then he'll just be like, okay.
Bed size and how many pillows do you use?
My bed in here is a queen bed. My bed back in Minnesota was also a queen bed, and I have 2 pillows on my bed. I'd use 2 pillows for watching TV, and then 1 pillow for when I sleep.
The bed I have in my condo I think is a full bed. When I sleep I normally use 1 pillow, but if I have 2 pillows, I'll put 1 on the left side and 1 on the right side, and then I sleep on one side and then flip over to the other side. Very convenient.
You should have ice cream sandwiched yourself, kind of like this.
Ooh, a delicious sandwich.
This is very comfortable.
You look comfortable.
Thank you.
You have a lot of neck support.
I know.
You tried to visit Tagaytay City. We have like a 4 or 5 video series, a 3 video Tagaytay series. You can check it out. It's very epic. We do plan to go back too because we want to climb that volcano, but it just erupted recently, I think, before we got here.
We'd probably be hiking up it. This is where a green screen would come in handy, so we could like pretend like green screen ourselves hiking it, and then we'd be like, blood starts erupting out of your mouth and your eyeballs start bleeding.
We'd become a volcano of blood.
Become rad roaches.
Fallout 4.
And then we could go
95% chance, all of them missed.
That sucks.
You plan to go to northern Philippines?
Yes. We've been planning it for so long.
That was like the first big trip we actually wanted to go on, was a northern Luzon road trip.
And then my whole passport scandal happened last. We were like totally gonna rent a car, and then the more we like observed driving in the Philippines, the more we were like, this might be very scary to drive here. Yeah. If we're renting a car, we don't want somebody to crash into us, or we to crash into somebody who's not really like obeying the rules of the road, and then we have to pay a bunch of money.
So we're planning it still, but without the rent-a-car aspect.
I still like look at the map sometimes, like when I'm trying to plan trips, and I'm like, renting a car wouldn't be that hard, right?
It's just like a highway, right?
And then I like look on the roads and I'm like, oh, this road's empty, right? But then as soon as we go into a city, like even
just
like
chaos.
Small cities.
Chaos.
I don't know. Maybe we'll try, but we are gonna go at least in some way or another. But driving a car would be so much nicer. Imagine all the places we could get to.
We could stop in so many places.
We see a cool volcano on the map, we're like...
That's like possibly our favorite style of traveling, is renting a car and road tripping around places.
Yeah, it's the best. And we have yet to do that in Asia.
Asia.
I guess we did it in Dubai.
Go check out those videos if you want.
And Georgia's in
Asia. Are you two trying to learn Tagalog words?
We know some. We,
Kamusta ka?
Wait lang po!
Masara!
Sige sige!
Magkano?
Hello, Sir Mampo!
That's a Manila exclusive, right? Yeah, so I mean...
Wak wak?
I'm sure it would be an interesting video for us to learn, because people seem to find our pronunciations very funny sometimes.
I just find our pronunciations Masarat po.
Well, guapo.
Guapo!
What is your favorite food, Po, in the Philippines?
Thank you, Po.
Ma'am, sir.
You can go first? We should guess each other's. I don't know. You get 2 a lot.
Yours is pork barbecue.
Yeah! Yours is sisig? Bangus?
Bangus.
Bangus?
Bangus.
It's between those two. Those are your two most ordered.
I'd say Bangus, just because of the inconsistency of sisig in restaurants.
Bangus is always banging.
Bangus is always pretty banging.
Sisig, you can get it and you're like, well, this is not sizzling crispy sisig.
No Maserati.
No Maserati!
What's Ducky's MBTI? We'll have to have him take a personality test soon.
I feel like he's a
Yeah.
And then whatever like extremely emotional and extroverted and angry is.
So you guys can let us know what it is. What you think it is in the comments. When will you start a Trifate podcast? You know.
Everybody just wants a podcast. We say that sometimes. We like just talk about the most random things. And then we're like, that's literally like a podcast clip, but everybody, when they talk to their friends, is like, this could be a podcast, bro.
Dude, we need to start a podcast. The road trips we were just talking about, when we're driving on those road trips, I don't know how much of it would be what people are actually interested in, but we talk about some very interesting topics.
Oh.
And that would definitely be a podcast right there. Trifate road trip.
Our conversations go off the wall. It will go from like political stuff to traveling stuff to gaming to movies to Star Wars, like everything.
We find that it would probably be hard for people to follow along because we don't finish what we talk about all the time.
And there's so many random things that we bring up that...
You guys don't understand. Like this video that we're filming right now is improv. Basically everything other than the questions, of course. We're just improvising this entire thing. And there's just very small cuts in between what we say. But we're just kind of talking back and forth, and that's what a podcast would be like. It would kind of be a mess.
Can you imagine if we had like a guest, like we brought a guest on and then we're like, oh, so what do you think about the new Star Wars movies? Yeah, they're not as good, right? And then you're like, okay, now what's your view on corporations taking over?
So in short, Trifate podcast coming tomorrow.
We already have a gaming channel that we don't post on, so...
You can go sub to it if you want. There's some old videos on there. Will the Biscuit Boys ever hike a mountain here in the Philippines? Congrats on 100K, by the way. Duck emoji.
We want to.
That's like one of our favorite things to do when we travel. Hike mountains.
Unfortunate things about hiking in the Philippines. Mountains are hard to get to.
It's hot as nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Even in the dry season, it'll rain. We had a recent injury.
Yeah, I messed up my knee. So hiking is going to be harder now.
A lot of times you need a guide to hike mountains.
That's a big one.
And a lot of times, like we said, sort of with like collaborations too, we don't want to be weird, super weird in front of people, so it changes our energy of our video, so sometimes we don't really like to do that as much.
And we will get comments. You guys act different, blah, blah, blah. This is just happened to us. But yeah, we want to. We had a road trip planned we were going to do to the mountain in South Luzon.
Palai?
Yeah, Palai. We were going to climb that one.
I think you needed a guide or something.
Yeah, it was something weird.
The park was weird.
It was really, there's a lot of weird rules and it's so hard to find things online, like accurate information.
We experienced that a lot in Mindanao.
And I mean, even Tagaytay, we wouldn't have known you couldn't climb the volcano unless somebody told us. We couldn't find it online.
So, that's our experience. It seems like hiking in the Philippines isn't as common as hiking in other countries, so it makes it harder to access and harder to find info. So, but we want to.
We want to. We will. We've only hiked to waterfalls.
You guys give us the info. The best place you visited in the Philippines? I couldn't decide between two, but I would say Baguio or Camigan.
I would say...
are probably two of my two favorite.
I would say those are also my favorite.
Something about them just like really stuck out.
I mean, they were just so different. Baguio was just, I mean, the whole vibe was different. It was like... the nature was so different. The city was so different. Even like the people, like the vibe of the city itself was different. And then Camigan just was just no people, nature out of the wazoo, beautiful.
Honestly though, if I had to pick one, I'd pick Camigan.
I think I would too.
Durian or mango? Mango. Will you be trying more hotels while in the Philippines? I enjoyed your Okada video.
That's a hard one. Once again, hotels like Batanes is an expensive investment.
We enjoyed making that Okada video.
We did.
And then we also enjoyed making our Bellevue video too.
Yeah, really fun.
But we don't have money right now. And again,
guys, donate to us! Maybe. So I know Solaire is a big one that people want to check out and want us to do videos on. So, I mean, maybe one of these days we'll go and check that one out as well.
Here's the solution to our money issues. Will you ever make an OnlyFans?
Duck will. It's coming soon. Well, if you want that, subscribe to...
Only Duck.
Full duck
videos.
Duck. Triple D.
Did a dog. All the are you planning to visit questions all revolve around one thing. Are you planning to visit Australia? This revolves around the same thing. It's expensive.
I guess we can answer if we plan to visit these places this year, as in 2024.
Maybe.
Australia, yeah, maybe. It'd be cool.
Update on Crocker, please.
Did you not watch the Bullet Drive video?
I'm right here, buddy! Yeah, he's been fine. He was just sitting in a bag for like 6 months.
He didn't get fed much. There wasn't much oxygen in there, but he's fine. He might be a little more on the stupid end now, but it's okay.
I'm not stupid. I'm doing just fine, guys. Your personal favorite country you've visited so far?
This is a hot question. It's hard. People ask this when we went home. Where'd you go? What's your favorite country? And then you're like...
I'm sure they really didn't care for like the perfect answer. They probably just wanted to hear a country and then they'd never remember it in their entire lives. But we'd just be like,
it's like
I don't really know.
It's like a huge like personal question for us. We're like...
And then that person is just going to be like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
What's it like there?
We were literally probably, they asked it, we're probably like,
well, this country's good. I like this one too. This one
has this.
One, this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impossible not to mention the Philippines because I've spent half my adult life. So I gotta say that. But that's a lame answer for a video that we're filming in the Philippines. So other than that,
we can break it down into categories.
Food.
Italy.
Italy's
just so good.
Honorable mention to Georgia. Nature.
Iceland.
Hospitality.
Philippines.
Ease of travel.
East Asia.
Yes, Seoul or Hong Kong.
Tokyo. They all had a very, very, very extensive subway system. It was very nice.
If you've never used the subway, it'd be super confusing, but surprisingly it wasn't too bad to navigate all the stations. Most livable city for our standards.
The Philippines. It's very easy to assimilate here, I think. It's very...
For Americans especially.
Yeah, there's enough things here for us to, like, really, like, be comfortable, get used to it, stuff like that.
So although we mentioned, like, oh, we like the food the best in one country or this the best in another country, the Philippines meets all the standards for what we want. Like, it's the best option for us.
Should we just rank all of the different things and then you just see that the Philippines just ends up being
direct
the average?
Comparison.
Is there any other metrics?
Cost. What's the cheapest country we've been to?
Cheapest country we've been to is...
The cheapest trip we probably went on was Sabah.
True, hotels were cheap there. The mall food wasn't that cheap in Sabah.
No, Indonesia would probably be.
Or Georgia.
Yeah.
Before the Russian thing.
Yes, yeah.
That might be the cheapest. Georgia before Russia invasion of Ukraine.
We got a $10 guest house there.
We did. We got a $10 guest house. Our meals would usually be $5 for a lot of food.
And Indonesia, we never went as budget as we could, but I remember getting some like $3 or $4 meals in Jakarta, and our hotels could have been very cheap.
Yeah.
Spoiler on one of the destinations we are going to in the next series.
Fanciest place? Singapore, Dubai. Gotta be one of those, right?
I wouldn't say Hong Kong.
No, Hong Kong probably would have been fancy like 20 years ago. Tokyo isn't necessarily fancy, it's just flashy.
And modern.
Yeah.
And then Seoul is just very modern, but very like residential.
So
when it comes to actually fancy, it would be Dubai, probably.
Yeah.
Singapore, definitely.
One of those two.
That's our rankings on different aspects. I'm sure there's other aspects we could have ranked on, but...
If you feel offended by that...
Sorry. How old are you two? I recently turned 21. You can celebrate my birthday celebration at Viking Buffet in Davao, Philippines on our YouTube channel.
And I turned 26. My birthday video isn't out yet.
But that's in a different country.
What?
Star. You guys always look friendly to each other in videos. Do you guys ever have fights or disagreements off screen? Yes, he gave me... we had to cover it up with some makeups, but he gave me a black eye one time. I broke his arm. His knee
He broke my knee!
His knee is actually my fault. He stabbed me with a knife in the stomach once. I would show you guys the scar, but I can't right now.
I'd get demonetized.
Yeah.
Most of our arguments are with Doc.
What the frack did you just say to me?
I will frack you up, fracker.
Yeah. What is the future of Trifate in the next 5 to 10 years? Will you still be doing vlogs or reactions or something new?
We don't know what we're gonna do next month!
Yeah, so it's one of the things we always talk about when we're reminiscing and like thinking about how lucky we are to be in this position is when we think back to like 3-4 years ago. Back in that time, we never would have expected we would be here right now.
No.
So think back in 3-4 years in the future. We don't know where we're gonna be in 3 to 4 years. It could be anything. We could be dead.
That's
Hopefully
very
not.
morbid.
Hopefully not.
It's interesting. I mean, although we always are like, oh, we're poor, we are also living the dream, you could say. I mean,
We're poor financially, but we get to do this.
yeah, we get to go to different countries. We get to live in different countries. We don't have to work for anybody. It's a nice thing. So I guess we'll just keep this going as long as we can in one way or another. Hello?
You don't work for anybody?
Sir? I'm sorry, sir. Boss, ma'am, chief, sir, ma'am, Poe.
Extra hours for you tonight! No. You're editing the entire Indonesia series!
He's our pimp.
Will you still post vlogs about your post-Georgia pre-PH travel?
Maybe they're talking about our latest Georgia trip to our right now.
Yeah.
We are.
That's the series
Yeah.
we've been talking about. And there's a lot of them.
There's a lot. We were traveling for 2 months straight. And obviously, I know there's people that really, really are like, why isn't this up to date? You cannot travel to, how many countries did we go to? 6? You cannot travel to 6 countries nonstop and edit videos and post videos during that time.
And also do it cost effectively, because the longer you stay in a country, you're paying for a hotel for longer, which would allow us to edit the videos while we stay, but we couldn't do that.
No. We had to film all those videos that way, and I know people don't like, not real time! We had to, or else it wasn't gonna happen.
This one is real time.
Yeah, our Mindanao trip would have been impossible.
Impossible.
Our Wi-Fi in the hotels would not have been good enough to upload videos, so we had to do it that way. And if you honestly think that a lot of the vloggers that jump different countries post their videos real time, you are wrong.
Very wrong. Weird food you've had in the Philippines. Isaw, probably?
I have had to tame my weird food eating because I get very ill when I eat certain foods.
Bloody diarrhea.
Yeah, so people in the comments and around me have suggested maybe don't eat that much street food. And I was like, okay, maybe that's a good idea.
I don't know. I just wanted to say hi to you guys.
Hi.
Hey, how do you genuinely feel about having this many subscribers? It's an interesting question, because although we do meet people all the time and like it's so nice to see your faces, and then it's like that's one of the things that sets in, like, oh wow, we do have a big following. 99% of the time, the only way to determine how many subscribers we have is a number on a screen.
Yeah.
So it doesn't it defaces our viewers, I guess. And it kind of lumps everyone together, even though you guys are all so different. It's just kind of this mob in how YouTube presents it.
And it's interesting too how much the numbers can like get into your psyche. Like suddenly you have a video that does really good and you're like, ooh, and suddenly it's like you're so happy. And the next video does terrible and you're like, oh.
And not only that, YouTube plays into that. They have, when you post videos, they rank it out of your last 10 videos. So like if you had a video that's doing the best out of your last 10, it'll be number 1 out of 10. They'll throw confetti and it'll be green arrows, dark green arrows pointing up. And then if you post the next one and it's the worst, it'll be 10 out of 10, gray arrows pointing down. It's sort of not like an addiction, but it plays into this like addictive.
YouTube's playing a psychological game. They're like, you keep feeding the algorithm exactly what we want and we will make you feel better about yourself.
So in one sense, we are not only grateful for what you guys have done for us, but also proud of what we've done to achieve this. But at the same time, we always find a way to downplay ourselves because we're like, oh, we can't do...
We feel like at the same time we're kind of trapped by the algorithm, you could say. Like when we do these videos and they do really good, there's certain type of videos, and then we're like, you know what, let's do something different. Let's try a different style for this one.
Let's go to Bullet Drive.
Yeah, and then suddenly it's like, doof, all the arrows are down. Doof, doof, doof. And even though we have way more comments on this video than...
And our subscribers seem to have enjoyed it more.
Yeah, everybody in the comments and all of these people that watch all of our videos are like, oh, this is awesome, cool. YouTube's like, no, go back to doing the same thing over and over. It's hard, but we're gonna still try.
So that, in a sense, is like the most negative thing about it. On the other hand, the most positive thing is it feels great. We get to consistently meet a lot of you guys, and you all have been super nice when we met us. And not only that, there's always comments, positive support everywhere. Obviously negative stuff too, but
You mean
Not
getting
too-
threatened to get shot?
Yeah, someone threatened to shoot me on our Baguio short. I don't know what I did. I'm sorry.
This guy's annoying. I'm gonna shoot him.
And then, of course, YouTube also rewards us with silver play button.
Oh.
So it does feel good, and we're grateful to be here, and thank you guys for that.
Maybe next time we do a video like this, it can be reading hate comments.
Oh, there's some there. Any plans on coming back to Mangalore, and how was it?
Mangalore, hey.
How's it going?
It's been a while.
Our Indian compadres.
That is one of the places we want to go in 2024 is India, and we've actually been planning to kind of do a nostalgia tour in India before going on to new places.
So what that basically means is we'll probably visit places we went to last time and then move on to other places in India.
Mangalore, we're coming back because we didn't eat that super famous ice cream there.
Ideals ice cream.
What the heck? How did we miss that?
I don't know. Apparently it's like in India possibly most famous.
Yeah, so we're thinking of maybe sometime in the spring or whatever. Maybe the best time to travel in India I know is kind of like in the winter time. So we'll maybe go Mangalore, go into Kerala as well. Kind of see some exploration, some more South India exploration.
Stay tuned for that.
It's been a while. It's been over a year.
India was quite the place to be in.
It was.
You definitely need some reset time, but we've hit that reset time and we want to go back now.
We're ready.
We go to Palawan.
Yes, for sure. Probably sometime in the dry season. We'll probably head out there. And I'm sure it'll be so busy.
We saw a video of someone doing the
After the heck, like the mountains, and you go in like the weird like shallow water cave thing.
Yeah. Underwater, yeah. And it was so busy, it didn't look very enjoyable.
That would suck.
One of the reasons Kamigan and Baguio were our favorite things were because they weren't very touristy. So if you guys ever want to recommend us stuff that is not touristy but also very cool, that's our style. What's your favorite mall?
SM North.
Yeah, definitely our most visited
Yeah.
by far.
As people have mentioned, we compare all malls to SM North.
Because we go there all the time. I will say, it's probably one of the busiest malls. The weekends are a bit rough. If there's ever a 65 peso movie day, you can't walk through that thing.
If Taylor Swift is playing.
Oh.
Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone.
Are you Jewish? Salam alaikum. When are you going to Japan? We went. When will the videos be posted?
Sometime.
TBD.
That was the last place we went on our epic trip between Georgia and the Philippines. Or going on to the second one next week. Mindanao was the first.
What are misconceptions you had about the Philippines?
I didn't have many conceptions about the Philippines. That was the thing.
The Philippines wasn't conceptualized to us.
No, it was just like a place that existed. Like we knew it on the map, but we didn't know anything about it until we reacted to SB19. That's literally the first time it was more than just a place on the map. I didn't even know any places other than Manila.
Yes.
In the Philippines.
Then we started reacting to some videos on the Philippines, and then it sort of created this weird dichotomy of super positive, the Philippines is the greatest place on earth, and super negative, this sucks about the Philippines. We'd get to see both sides, and then by the time we got here, it was
good.
It's good.
It's cool. Based on vloggers, kind of in our last video we joked about it, you would think that all these vloggers were just oh my gosh, the Philippines is just they act like they thought the Philippines was just a slum. And then they get here and they're they have glass buildings?
What? One of the most populated countries in the world has stuff?
What? So yeah, I mean, we're not gonna pretend we didn't expect there to be nice buildings, nice areas. Foreigners aren't shocked that there's nice things in the Philippines.
One of the misconceptions I will say that we had before is right before we left, obviously with our family being slightly concerned about our safety, we did some research on the safety in the Philippines, and we consistently saw stuff Quezon City is the most dangerous city in Southeast Asia. Well, this, that. While that might be true, Southeast Asia is very safe. The danger factor, obviously you gotta stay vigilant and keep your eyes on your surroundings. We've run into a few slightly dangerous situations.
And another thing to show that people, at least from small town Minnesota, don't know much about the Philippines is that people were way more chill and less concerned about us going to the Philippines than when we were going to Georgia, because Georgia is next to Russia. So people were you should get out of there. You guys should leave Georgia. You guys should leave Georgia. But we're we're going to the Philippines, which is technically the most dangerous country in Southeast Asia or whatever. They're just well, whatever. Have fun.
Yeah.
So
a lot of the reason we didn't know anything is because We're from a small town.
Yeah. And it's like in our fruit video. People are like, "You've never seen this fruit before?" We live in a small town in Minnesota.
If you go to the farmer's market, you're going to find some corn, some rhubarb.
Strawberries.
Yeah, you're not getting...
Pumpkins.
Yeah, they're not growing any pomelos over there.
No.
How did the Philippines change you? I eat a lot more rice.
Me too, dude. I mean,
It's kind of like, obviously, our lives have changed in the last year, and you could probably attribute a lot of that to the Philippines, but you could also just attribute a lot of that to just us growing up and growing as individuals.
And traveling.
And it just so happens to be that we've been in the Philippines this long time.
Traveling changes the way you act. I mean, you can go home. Like, we went back to Minnesota, we barely left the house. But when you travel, I mean, I guess when we're in these condos, we don't have to leave as much. But when you travel and you're going places, you have to figure out your transportation. You have to plan, you have to talk, you have to interact with people just constantly. And even though we don't record our interactions usually with people, because we've said this before and people continue to not listen, interactions are weakened and much less genuine when the camera is out. People do not act at all the same when we are recording them versus when we are not. So usually we prefer to not record the interactions.
But one of the things that has changed about us is we are more comfortable interacting with people.
Yes.
We've gotten more comfortable with asking for help when we need it, especially with how friendly it is in the Philippines to ask for help. And then another thing that has changed for us is definitely we gain a lot of appreciation for the privilege we have based off the wealth disparity in this country. You get to see that, I mean, just from the view of our grass residences condos, you get to see that. And you get to see how little some people have, but how happy they still can be. And you gotta gain some appreciation for what we have. Obviously we're not super rich, famous already before when we grew up, but we came from a more privileged place.
We have, I mean, just our passport having more power just infinitely changes our possibilities to go to places like Australia or Japan or Korea or Europe or the US. Filipinos have to go through, for some of these places, complete interview processes where it's more likely than not they will be denied. So, I mean, just having the US passport opens all these possibilities for us to go so many places and see so many things that people here, even if they had the monetary capabilities to do so, might not be able to because their passport isn't good enough.
So, I mean, those are just two things that the Philippines has changed about us, but not to be dramatic or anything, it obviously has changed our lives significantly. We could get very deep into it, but maybe that can be its own video.
We're just going to try to keep showing kind of our experiences, the good and the bad in the Philippines. We're going to show you neighborhoods out in the street and in the provinces that aren't as nice as BGC or Makati. We're not just going to show you, guys, look at how beautiful this is. Aren't you shocked? We're going to show you everything. And I know a lot of you appreciate that with our vlogs, is that we do show everything, but obviously I think it makes some of the people that only like to see the good things very upset.
Definitely. City or province?
The big thing about Manila that is nice is there's just unlimited food.
And it's open all the time.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about Manila. Other than that, I would take the province probably for every other reason.
Yes. Do you think it's time to have individual vlogs?
Like with adding another person, taking out a person will change everything significantly.
Yes. It will be a completely different style. I mean, I'm sure you guys can even notice sometimes when I'm the cameraman versus Tyler being the cameraman, the style might change just even like slightly. So then just imagine if you take out one of us, it's gonna change.
Or if one of us is sick or...
Yeah, so obviously it would be a different style, but maybe, who knows what's gonna happen.
Family channel coming soon? Duck's pregnant?
Oh my god!
Big life change. Guys, our parents are coming.
Will you be spending your Christmas and New Year here in Qui-Gon City? No, we're leaving. Goodbye.
See you later.
Just kidding! Bamboozle ya!
We're gonna be posting our next series, but after that we're coming back for our Christmas in the Philippines series.
I'm excited to see what another New Year will be like here as well.
Heck yeah. We don't have that epic view that we had last time, but we'll figure it out.
It's an okay view. What's your favorite movie? What's our favorite movie that came out in the last 2 years?
John Wick 4.
Yep, I think so. We made an entire video on that.
We did!
Planning on visit Cebu again soon.
Yeah, we will go to Cebu. I'm guessing maybe in January.
Why would we go in January?
I don't know.
Weird.
Is there a redemption that needs to happen?
When are you gonna eat duck? I mean, balut. Haha.
You want to fight, Bob? I'll take you out real quick.
Yeah, guys, we're never gonna eat his family.
Guys, we can't eat balut because it's a moral statement for duck.
So yeah, never. Have you been to Davao City? I'm a fan.
Yes, we have.
Very recently, we have like 4 or 5 videos from there.
Check it out. Just go to our channel, click videos, and then scroll down and you'll see it. Davao.
Who would say I love you first? Duck or Croc?
Definitely Croc.
Yes. He would say it, but he wouldn't feel it yet. Duck would probably say it. He would catch feelings quicker. But I think Croc would say I love you first. Because he says that to everyone.
Duck has a very hard exterior here. He's a tough one to break down those walls. He just fills everything with anger and frustration. But
Once you're in. Hey, no, that. How's your life here in the Philippines? And if you could live anywhere, where would it be? So, we'll answer the first part first. How's our life here in the Philippines?
fantastic.
Very good. We get to live in a condo that is connected to one of the biggest malls in the world. Although the condo may have some issues, the elevators are slow. There's some cockroaches sometimes. It's a bit small. I would like to say that it's a very, very nice living situation.
That is, especially for what we pay for it.
Yes. And then, we're connected to the biggest mall in the world, so we have anything we want. A nice 10-minute walk away.
We live with a duck. I have a hard exterior, but I love you.
Nope. Yeah, so living here in the Philippines, it's, basically, if you guys don't know, what we do is we edit videos all the time, so we just kind of sit in our condos, maybe go out to eat every once in a while, go to the mall, get some groceries, cook some food, and edit videos. That's what we do off camera, and then anything we actually do, we film. So that's basically what our life is like living in the Philippines. And the second question, if you could live anywhere, where would it be? I'm basically going to take this question and remove financial, like, we can live anywhere, no money, and no visa restrictions or anything. Where would we want to live? I don't know. See, it would be hard to stay in one spot for so long, though.
It would.
Because living in Iceland would be so cool, but then it would be so depressing for a while.
The winters would be rough.
Yeah, it'd be like the first winter would be cool, but then the second winter would suck. Or even the first winter for like a month would be cool.
Hey, don't worry. We are from Minnesota.
We're used to the winter.
Switzerland.
Norway. Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Nigeria.
Those ones. Obviously, living in like Canada, like Vancouver or something would be amazing.
I guess that's a hard one. The ideal would be trying different things. Like if you had no financial, like you could just find a nice house in any place, just every year, just move around everywhere.
I mean, like living in Manila obviously is great. Living in KL would be cool. Tokyo.
It'd be
Seoul.
It'd be cool to live on a beach house in a province somewhere in the Philippines.
Bangkok, Dubai,
Georgia.
I mean, like
Italy.
with one of our trips we originally planned, we were going to go into like random cities in Turkey and live in those cities for like a month or two. So when it comes to living places, we would live in a lot of places.
It's
and
just
we'd like to experience it.
the experience.
And then if you do that for 10 years, then you find which one's your favorite and then
boom,
settle down there. Most overrated place in the Philippines. For me, I would say Bugasa.
Bugasa?
BGC. It's supposedly the nicest area, not only in Manila, but the Philippines. And we've gone there like 3 or 4 times. And every time we go there, it's like, cool.
Nice. I mean, it's hard. This is what you need to acknowledge if you're a really big lover of BGC is I've been to 36 countries. Just in Asia, I mean, what's equivalent to BGC or better than BGC? Dubai, Singapore, KLCC,
Seoul,
Tokyo, Hong Kong, Bangkok.
I mean, Jakarta had a central business district.
These are all equivalent or more modern than BGC.
I will say BGC was super clean. The buildings were super nice, but it's also not that big.
No, and all of these other places, nice buildings, very clean. It's just like an area. There's so much hype around it, and ever since we've been here, we just don't know why. There's
even like Johor.
Yeah, Johor, like the downtown was clean, spotless buildings. Taipei, like by the 101.
101.
I don't know. It's just kind of like for us being to Dubai before we went to BGC, I think like pretty close to around the same time. We were just like, okay.
And we're not going to deny it's a nice area.
Yeah,
and there
it's
is a lot of
nice.
stuff to do, and it's cool. But when you see the perception of it in the Philippines, it's overhyped, overrated a bit. And especially the perception in the YouTube scene.
The vloggers, when they say that, if they've gone to any of those countries we just mentioned, they've seen basically the same thing.
But they'll still mention how modern BGC is,
They're
and
just
they're shocked.
lying to you.
Yes.
But anyways, the Philippines, we think the strength is the natural beauty.
Yes.
The beaches are amazing. The landscapes are incredible. So focusing, when we see so many people put so much emphasis on BGC, like that's their talking point is BGC, oh, Philippines, BGC. We're just like, what? Why?
And not only that, the food is very underrated.
Yeah.
Great food. And the people, everyone knows the Filipino people are very kind, but
So many more things to focus on.
yeah, then BGC.
That's why it's overrated.
Who's your favorite vlogger in the Philippines?
Trifate, of course.
No, we hate ourselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Our favorite vlogger is actually Ducky. If you guys didn't know, he has his own channel. Ducky Travels.
That's amazing.
Duckster, the Duck Boy Travels.
I'd say it kind of, I don't necessarily have a favorite vlogger, but I can break it down into vloggers that I respect.
Yeah, we don't watch too many Philippines vlogs. Only if there's ever like something cool that we've never seen before, we'll be like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, but I'd say the ones that are respectable, I mean, Becoming Filipino, of course.
Yes, I mean, we saw his stuff before we even came to the Philippines, and he's been here for 13 years or whatever.
He's the prime example of like diving right into the culture, into how actual Filipinos live, not just some like westernized lifestyle
I mean,
of Filipinos.
we're decently delved into the Filipino culture, but even we'll admit we're living in a Western style as we're
Yeah.
living in our condos connected to a mall.
He lives in Mindanao in a house like in the
Yeah.
jungle.
We're still living in a condo, and we can just go and buy some Popeyes if we want.
Yeah, even though I think we're more connected to the culture, as in we take public transport everywhere we go, like we go grocery shopping like at not upscale grocery stores and stuff like that, and we eat the things that normal Filipino eats compared to like the upscale places probably other people eat in BGC Makati area. We're not even close to him.
No, not even close. He's more into Filipino culture than a lot of Filipinos in Manila
Yeah,
are.
definitely. And I mean, even somebody like a Filipino who doesn't vlog anymore, but he lives a Filipino life. He owns a business. I mean, he lives in this condo again, like us, but gets his store stuff from the market.
He did some crazy adventures when he went, too.
He takes public transport everywhere. So when we see vloggers who have lived in the Philippines for a year, over a year, 5 years, and they're like making videos like, I'm taking to the MRT for the first time. I'm taking a jeepney. We're like, what?
I mean, we didn't know what to expect with a Filipino who, like when we met him, but like we're just talking to him. He's a very chill guy, and then we were like, so do you use like the MRT to get places? And he's like, oh yeah, all the time. I love it. And it's like, wow, he didn't make an entire video on the MRT.
No, he just uses it like a normal person.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I mean, there's others that have really delved in. Maybe we haven't seen them much either. Anybody who like leaves the bubble.
Yes. I don't know if you'd consider her a vlogger, but Jessica Lee seems to do she does vlogs, and she does a lot of content that seems very entertaining.
Yeah.
And she's definitely into the culture and stuff like that.
She kind of has content that we would like to start trying here.
Yeah, she does some creative ideas.
Hopefully we can break out. We want to try to break out of the vlogger sphere a little bit so we can get away from the every title has to be clickbait. And
We have to clickbait sometimes.
Yeah, we literally have to. And we want to kind of get out of that because we want to distance ourselves from the people that we don't necessarily... Or we want to distance ourselves from some other content where it's completely based around clickbait and a title and a... just kind of like a false...
Just like a very open-ended like question that makes you click on the video, click through to figure out what they're talking about, and then be like, oh, that's it. All right, goodbye.
That's what we're hoping to try to get away from at some point. But we're going to keep trying. We're going to keep grinding. And thanks for watching, everybody.
It's all about...
It's all about...
Why can't I think of the word? Drive.
It's all about drive! It's all about power!
So yeah, again, we are the best people ever. We did this ourselves. Frack you
Get
guys.
out of here.
Just kidding. Thank you guys so much for 100,000 subscribers. It feels very interesting to have 100,000 subscribers.
What do you mean?
Thank you.
What do you mean, fracker?
I got you guys.
I got you guys 100,000 subscribers on 2 other channels already.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're our amazing cameraman, so we couldn't have done it without you as well. But you need to thank the viewers, Duck.
Do you guys like my camera work? I think I've become quite slick.
Duck, I know you're proud of your camera work, but you need, for once in your life, to please thank them. They've done so much for us. You wouldn't be living this decent life if it wasn't for them.
Fine. Ever since I was a small duckling in Thailand and was shipped to Georgia, and when this flacker broke my eyeball. Please refocus. What happened?
Why is it making a weird noise? I'm sorry, I broke your eyeball, dude.
I've been living a life that I would call glamorous, but also a living hell. I have been trapped in rooms, trapped in backpacks for days on end as these frackers go and eat food and enjoy adventures. But thanks to you guys, you always request me and request that I am in more videos, so now they have no choice. Keep commenting. Duck lives. Duck is the greatest. Duck is this channel. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Wow, I'm very impressed. Guys, we've never heard nice words out of Duck, ever. So the fact that you guys achieved that, it says something about what you've done for us.
I'm glad that his nice words towards you were negative words towards us.
And positive words about himself. Hey, Duck.
Praise Duck! Duck is God!